Okay, I don't even know if I am gonna be posting this. Literally just propped my phone up on this desk. I don't have my the camera that I usually film with, no mic, nothing like that with me. No script, which is a bit scary for me, but let's work with what we have. I just wanted to come to you and have a bit of a chit chat about something. So I am currently away on a solo trip. I was reflecting on the first time that I solo traveled a few years ago. I believe it was 2019. At the time, I was doing a study abroad program in Berlin. You know, because it's so easy once you're in Europe to travel around to different countries, I knew that that was something that I wanted to do. I had it in the back of my mind that it would be nice to have some company to travel with. But the problem was that I really hadn't made that many connections with people on that study abroad program. And I could have very easily have allowed that to stop me from going and doing those trips that I did. But I didn't let it stop me. I've always been someone who's very comfortable in my own company. I know that's not something that comes easily for everybody, but I do think that solo travel is something that everyone should try to experience. I know that it's a privilege. It requires time, it requires money, but I think that if you have the opportunity to do it, it is absolutely something that you should do. So this is specifically for the people who, you know, you've thought about it, right? You've been thinking about it, but you've got these voices in your head that are telling you, this is so completely out of my comfort zone. I don't even go to cafes or to the movies by myself. Why on God's green earth would I travel on my own, miles away, to somewhere that I'm completely unfamiliar with, to be by myself? Absurd, right? But what I realized is that those things aren't real, right? That's just your brain trying to protect you from the unknown, which is completely normal. And if you're also someone who has in the back of your mind, I would really like to do this with someone, I would really like to experience this with someone, I want you to think about all the things that you would miss out on if you were to wait for company to do them with. Solo travel can do so much for your self-confidence. When you have to rely on yourself to navigate around a new city that you've never been to, when you have to communicate with locals, maybe in a foreign language, and risk being embarrassed because you pronounce some words incorrectly, when you have to be responsible for yourself and your safety and your well-being in a completely foreign place, it's a challenge, but it is something that builds your self-confidence, and it teaches you so much about who you are. It teaches you that you can actually handle a lot more than you give yourself credit for. It's just that you have to get out of this mindset that it's not something for you, that only certain people can do it. You build that sense of independence. You build that sense that you can rely on yourself in uncomfortable situations. You learn to really spend time and enjoy spending time with yourself. It also allows you to be a bit selfish, right? To put it plainly, you get to do what you want. You get to get up when you want. You get to plan out what your day looks like, and you don't have to answer to anybody. And that can be such a liberating feeling. And I think, you know, for me, as someone who is always trying to look out for people and to do things that are in the best interest of other people, I don't always put myself first. And that's something that I'm trying to get out of. That's something that I'm learning to do, because if you're not giving yourself the opportunity to have those self-fulfilling experiences, then you can't be your best for other people. And for me, this reflection also comes with a big moment of gratitude just for being afforded the opportunity to do things like this, you know, being thankful for my family, you know, my parents, for always encouraging me and believing in me and instilling that confidence in me to go out into the world and to come into my own and to be myself. I think it's so important to have that, you know, to have that support system, to have those kinds of people around you, especially in those moments where you're doubting yourself, you're not sure you can do something, you know. But I think even if you don't have that, I want you to know that you have it in you. And even if I'm the only person to have told you that, I hope that counts for something at least. And I know you can do it. I know you'll be fine. And you know, once you do it, you'll have tapped into a different version of yourself, one that I know that you're going to be proud of. What I would say is that if you're somebody who is not used to doing things on your own ever, like you can't even go to the movies or go to dinner by yourself, maybe you want to start there. Start small. Don't try to take a transatlantic flight and, you know, be away for months on end. Don't rush into it. Solo travel also doesn't have to look a certain way. It doesn't mean that you have to take an expensive first class flight to the most Instagram worthy destinations. It can be taking a road trip. It can be doing a staycation right in your own country and your own city. I think no matter how you do it, the benefit that you get is mostly the same. Of course, it's important that you be responsible while doing it. I think it's important to do your research, know where it is you're going, know why you're going there, learn about the places that you're traveling to. Try to learn a few phrases or words in the local language so that, you know, it shows that you're making an effort. Be responsible, be vigilant when you're out and about, especially if you're a woman traveling alone. You know, that in itself is something that you have to be conscious of. I hope I haven't rambled on too much. Like I said, this is a bit uncharted territory for me. Am I even gonna post this? You know what? Since we're talking about doing the uncomfortable thing, maybe this is gonna be my uncomfortable thing that I do. And so if you take nothing else away from this video, I just want to say, you know, I've heard it a lot of times, do it scared. That doesn't mean that you should go and put yourself in risky situations. It just means that you accept those feelings of anxiety and apprehension that you have, and you notice them, you feel them, but you don't allow them to decide how you live your life. You're not always going to feel prepared. You're not always going to feel like you're ready. You just have to make up your mind, make the decision that you're going to do it, and see where it takes you. And you may find that it takes you to a feeling that you want to keep coming back to, a feeling within yourself that you can trust yourself, that you can be independent, that you can do things on your own. Do it scared. Do it scared.